The next segment is to do with food. Now on the food side of things, I've broken into 3 strategies within the overarching food scenarios. The first 2 are really about planning, the LEP, environmental plan for the region. The second part here, land accessibility. Both of these projects really are local government, I think. Our land accessibility is like saying, well, we've got to get more growers into the place. That's screamingly obvious. How do we do that when we've got issues about accommodation on farms and we have issues with the cost of land? There's 4,000 people I've heard of who would move here tomorrow if they could get on to working on farms. There may be ways to unlock the land. So that's the first food thread, if you like. The second food thread which came through, and these, remember, are all the high priority short-term projects, and they're the start, they're not the end game. This is the starting point only. The next one is called On the Grow, and it's a project which has already kicked off. The group has got together, and it's great to see that happening. And when I look at it, and I look at it slightly differently to the group probably, but I see that what they've got is modular in the sense that they can grow the grower's base significantly. And when I look at the potential from just a numbers perspective, there's huge money involved in the sector. Now, they may not see it that way, but my take is that if we go down the food processing line, which is part of the overarching strategy, that there's at least 100, maybe 200 jobs in just processing food. There's probably a need for an abattoir rather soon as well. There's the marketing and distribution of food between here and Sydney, and the numbers available tell me, based on some of the results from other areas around the world, that we can probably start making something in the order of $1 million a year out of 100 acres. Now that sounds crazy to people who are used to industrial agriculture, but those numbers are achievable in other parts of the world, so they should be achievable here. That's an extra $1 billion a year into our economy. That improves our GDP by 50%. Now that might sound like fairy dust to you. The basic numbers stack up. They need to be checked, and we need people involved to do this, and probably change the way we're doing things a bit. So that's a major outcome from the summit. The other one, which is probably for a lot of people is a lot less glamorous, but is equally important in a lot of ways, the way that we work with food waste. It's got an impact, but not necessarily in a commercial sense, but the program itself about reducing food waste can be customised, can be put together, can be merchandised as a bit of intellectual property to be used in other areas around the world. There's also a possibility with processing food waste out of an Israeli invention, which sits out the door. You stick the food waste in and it creates biogas which you cook the food with. So there's products and services that can be added into this niche as you move forward, as you uncover the commercial opportunities.